Are you struggling getting parents and players to practice or even to really to games? This is a problem I see a lot in youth coaches and just the overall parent and player buy-in for their season. So today I'm giving you 3 tips to engage the parents and get the players to practice and create overall parent buy-in. Hey team, welcome to another Bullpen Bulletin with Coach Hart and Building Better Baseball. This is the best place for baseball education. So let's get into the parent-player buy-in and my 3 tips that I have for you today. So the first tip I have for parent buy-in is really the easiest. It's really just financial, right? If they put money into anything, they are more likely to show up because they're invested, right? If you are a travel organization or you're a travel team, maybe you get an initial deposit from everybody. Maybe you have them contribute to the winter workouts or just overall, just any contribution financially to your team will create some parent buy-in, because if there is nothing like that, then they don't really have any skin in the game. So why should they show up to practice if they don't want to, right? Financial buy-in or financial contribution will automatically give some incentive to show up to practice and go throughout the season. If you're a rec team and you don't really have financials in the equation, you could create sign-up sheets, right? Another way that they could financially contribute is maybe bring in some snacks, right? Create a sign-up sheet to bring snacks, or create a sign-up sheet to do something, right? Just some sort of financial buy-in where maybe they're not contributing to the team itself. Maybe they're buying snacks. Maybe they're buying a bucket of balls. Maybe they're buying equipment or like anything like that. So if you, like I said, if you're a travel organization, get an initial deposit so you have that parent buy-in and you know that they're going to be participating and engaged in the season. And if you're a rec program, just like create sign-up sheets for everything, right? Make sure that you have all of the equipment. Say, hey parents, we don't have a bucket of balls. We don't have a net. Can everybody contribute to this to help out the team, right? So something like that, or even just sign-up sheets in general. Sign-up sheets for snacks or carpooling or just like literally anything you can think of. Creating something where they either have to put money in or like write their name down as a commitment to the team will create more parent buy-in versus not having any of that stuff and they just choose whether they want to come to practice or not. They have put their name down and everything, so they are invested in the season and they are invested in their players' contribution to the team, right? So the first one I have is really simple. It's financial, right? So we just went over all of the things, like how you could contribute financially, or if it's not financial, then create sign-up sheets just to create some engagement and get some more incentive for the parents and players to come to practice. And the second tip I have is called what I call future pacing. Okay, so future pacing. You see a kid or you have a kid at the beginning of the season and you know exactly what they need to work on, all right? And you may tell this to the parents, hey, they really need to work on this in order to be a better player. But that doesn't really engage everything in the parent because, okay, so they need to work on it, I get it, right? But if you create future pacing, paint out the future for them of what it will look like when this player gets better at these skills. Or you could do kind of a more negative way of what it will look like if they don't improve, right? I don't think that you should include playing time. Like if you don't come to practice, you're not going to play. Like I don't believe in that. I do think that every player should want to get better and every parent should want their child to get better. And if you as the coach create the future or paint the future for this parent of, hey, if your child at the end of the season, in 3 months, if your child works on this, that I can, like this skill that I can help them with, I will work with them and their future will look like this. They will be a better hitter. They will be more accurate pitching. There'll be less errors in the field when they're fielding the game, right? So anything like that, just future pacing, painting the future for this player of what it will look like when they work on these things, all right? And like I said, if you go the negative route, say, like if your child, if they do not work on these things, they will have more errors in the field. They'll be a less effective pitcher. They'll be a worse hitter or anything like that. I prefer like kind of the positive route of what your child would look like after they work on these skills. And it's really just creating that belief in the parents of, okay, so this coach, he can help my son or he can help my player, right? And if I bring them to practice, this is what their future will look like, because the coach will be working with them and they will improve these skills. And this is what it will look like in 3 months at the end of the season. That is really, really creating that parent buy-in of, I want my child to get better, and I know and I believe and trust this coach because he has painted this picture and he has done all of these things, or she, right? And I know that my son will get better or my child will get better because this coach can help, right? And I don't want, and like I said, if you go the negative route, I don't want my child to be this at the end of the season. I want them to be the opposite, right? So just kind of future pacing. Make sure that the parent knows exactly what skills their child needs to work on and how you can help them build that trust and build that belief in you and in their own child that they can get better, but they have to come to practice. They have to show up. They have to be engaged in everything, right? And throughout the season, if you see them kind of starting trailing off, not coming to practices or whatever, kind of remind them, right? Remind them, hey, we're really working on this and your child is really, really getting better, but I noticed that he hasn't been to practice a couple times and I really don't want him to fall behind. Right? I don't want your child to fall behind. He's made really, really good progress and he's here now when he used to be here. And I'm really working with him, but I really need your help in, doing this for our child. Everything is for the kids. Everything is everything we do is to make the child better. And I understand that some parents may be involved, maybe not, but creating that future pacing, painting out the future of what their child's life will look like or baseball career will look like after this 3 months of work, or even after 2 seasons, do whatever you want. That will really create that parent buy-in, but most of all, it will create trust and belief in you as the coach that you can help this child, but the only way that you can help them is if they show up to practice, right? So I think that future pacing is a really, really powerful tool that you can use because, like I said, it just paints a picture in the parent's mind of the future, because not a lot of parents think about that. They think about the day-to-day, like they're going through their life, everybody's busy, right? They don't really think about that, but if you paint that picture for them, I really think that will create a lot of parent buy-in. Not only that, but it'll create belief and trust in you as a coach that you can get their child better, but only if they show up to practice. And my third tip today is almost having like a player contract. I don't think you should do a parent contract or anything like that, but a player contract, right? And it's not based on playing time or results or anything like that. I believe that player contracts should be about goals. All right, so you have the player set goals, or you help the child set goals, right? You write them down on a piece of paper and you have the player sign it, right? At the end of the season, I want to do this and do this. I want to be a better hitter, better pitcher, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you hold on to that contract. And that just initially, subconsciously creates that buy-in, not only from the player, but from the parent as well, because you're going through it with them, with them both, right? So you're doing this contract, you're saying, okay, this player wants this, 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 and this by the end of the season. I can help them do that. Sign your name, and the parent is there, and they see those goals, and they have that buy-in of, okay, this coach is going to get my son to blah, 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 right? So all of those things, and then if they kind of end up lacking at practice or not showing up, remind them of the contract. Say, hey, so-and-so, we're going through these goals. We're trying to accomplish these goals. You signed your name. Like, do you still want this? And just kind of question them a little bit, right? Give a little challenge to them of, hey, what do you really want? At the beginning of the season, you said you wanted blah, 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 and really you're not showing me that now, right? Like I said, kind of create some accountability there and challenge them a little bit of like, hey, we can still get you there, but you're not showing up to practice, and I can't help you if you're not here, right? So just a little simple player contract with goals, right? Like I said before, I don't think it should be like playing time. Like if I don't show up to practice 3 times a week, then I will not play. Like I don't believe in that, but I think it should be goals. It should be incentive for the player. It should be a positive incentive for the player to come to practice because of these goals that he's trying to accomplish. And that not only tries to get them to practice, but it just creates that goal-setting mindset, and that's a huge skill that they're going to have to learn as they go through life, because you have to set goals, you have to accomplish goals. Like anything in life, it's all about goals, right? So this is just introducing that goal-setting mindset of saying something that you want and going out and putting in the work to try and accomplish it. And putting it on paper rather than just talking about it is so much more powerful because it's tangible. It's there, right? They can see it. You can bring it out if they're kind of lacking. And also, if they continue to do it, you can bring it out at the end of the season when they have accomplished all of it and say, hey, look, you just put in all of this work from the beginning of the season. You came to practice every single practice. And look, check, 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 check. You did all of those things, right? And that kind of just reinforces that goal-setting mindset and showing up and putting in the work and everything like that. So a little player contract with goals, I think will go a long way to not only get the player to buy in, but also the parent to buy in. I've used them before, and they have really, really been successful with these players who really, really want to get better, but maybe, like I said, the parent-player buy-in isn't really there. So I've used these with success before. I've also used them without success because they never came to practice anyways, but I'm not saying it'll work every time, but it's just something that I have done before that I've had success with. So just a little recap. The first one, something financial or some sort of sign-up sheet that you can kind of get that engagement in and get the players and parents to come to practice. Number two, future pacing, paint out the future of what their baseball, journey will look like if they come to practice and if they put in this work. And then the third one, a little player contract about goals and everything, I think will really help you be successful in creating that parent buy-in. So there are a lot of ideas that I've had. I've only went over 3 today. I'll probably make another video down the road about my other ideas for parent buy-in. But these are my 3 biggest ideas for creating parent buy-in for your players and everything like that, just to try to get them more engaged in the season and more engaged in your team. Before we go, look down in the description. I have a whole bunch of free guides. I have a 2-hour practice plan. I have a baseball equipment sizing guide. There's about 6 or 7 of them down there. So feel free to go down there, choose what you like. I made them for you for free to help you out in your baseball journey. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Coach Hart. This is Building Better Baseball. This is the best place for baseball education. And I'll see you in another video real soon.